Yeah, no kidding. Are we there yet? Indeed. That's the truth. See, these were mostly the international gates up in C here, these higher C ones. When WOW Air used to fly into this airport, they flew up here. I know, seriously, wish I had one. British Airways, when they return their flight, they're going to fly out of here. This frosted glass up in C is where a lot of the international ones take off from. Let's see here, British Airways, they stopped their flight during COVID, and I've been told by a British Airways employee that it's coming back. So eventually it will be back. You see how the gates are, these chairs are just a little bit nicer here. Smell the new carpet. The chairs smell of rich mahogany. See the BA thing. So, C-59. This airport's getting redone. They're moving the ticketing hall closer to like the gates. See, look at that. Handle 74X. Can actually handle. See where they pull up there. Go Steelers, right? Here's your 7.6, 717. Those don't fly too much anymore. 74X, that's the 747. 343. So you can actually have an Airbus 340 here, which is cool. This is Pittsburgh International. But yeah, that's cool. You can actually have an Airbus 340 here. And a 380. I mean, that's the 388. That's the 38 variant. Jedi 36, what's going on? Mostly this is just used for people just chilling out, but this international one's the most interesting, I think. Whatever happened to Pan Am Airlines, they went into decline. I think they finally went, I think 01, they finally, maybe late 90s. They, I think pretty much that surge in oil prices killed them. They were also one of the biggest flyers of the 747. So they bought a ton of 747s when oil was really cheap, and then when it started to get expensive, they were in some deep trouble. And once travel declined too, they were even in worse trouble. Yeah, that big tower in New York City, it's a MetLife tower over Grand Central. That was formerly the Pan Am Tower. So Kentucky boy, that's what happened to Pan Am. I mean, they overextended themselves with their aircraft, and then higher oil prices met with lower demand, and they're screwed. This used to be a gate, so you can kind of figure it out, because on the boards here in Pittsburgh, they leave the numbered ones up, but some of them don't have numbers. Like that's 60 down there. Okay, but they don't all have gates anymore. Like this was a gate. Like they just, the regular jet bridge is gone. You can see where they're doing stuff on the terminal. They're going to make the ticketing. Is it closed down? No, this is Pittsburgh. No, it's not closed down. It's just really quiet at night. There's this guy out there driving. So they're doing a bunch of construction. to bring stuff a lot closer. So I'm gonna work through some pretty inclement weather right now. But that used to be the gate. It used to be a really bustling airport. It was a US Airways hub. I don't know if people know that anymore. That went out. Looks like Kansas City. That's cool. Pan Am and Howard Hughes competed. Well, Howard Hughes is TWA. They lasted longer, but they eventually went out too. I'll tell you what didn't help. It was Pan Am. They had that, weren't they operating that New York Airways or whatever, that helicopter? Remember that helicopter on top of Grand Central that, like, the landing gear broke and a blade flew off and, like, hit a guy down on the street in, like, Midtown Manhattan? That was some bad publicity. But I think that used to connect, like, first-class passengers to, like, LaGuardia then. Maybe JFK, maybe Newark, too. Like, by helicopter. Anyway, if anyone out there's listening and they know, just let me know what happened for real, because I only have some of the information. Anyway, just in the Berg here. See, like here, these gates are done. They're not gates anymore. That would have been the entrance. You know, they drywalled over the door. So this has been long gone. See, even after US Airways left, they used to still have, see, like this is a construction site. Just like dirt and stuff. But even after the US Airways left, they still used to have ads up for US Airways cities. They had like Munich, London, Paris. But no more. The most active thing here is this club lounge there. We still have the Condor advertisement up there. Condor hasn't flown here since, I think, like, I want to say late 2019, because they suspended. It was only a seasonal flight to Frankfurt anyway. So, I mean, they have them up there. British Airways and Condor. This is Pittsburgh International Airport. So British Airways and Condor. But I mean, Condor, like I said, they haven't been here since late 2019. Hopefully they'll get that flight back, maybe. You know, never know. This is still at its heart a one world city. You know, American Airlines is what became of US Air. First class are spoiled while us and third class are cramped. Yeah, that's how airlines make money, actually. They don't really make money on coach passengers. I mean, think how much it costs to fly a plane. They make money on people overpaying for a first class ticket. So in a way, it kind of helps us fly, especially on long haul. I mean, you book a long haul ticket for, you know, $400 round trip. Like, the airline's not making money on you. You're flying over an ocean. But I get it, you know. It's like coach class, cattle class in the back. You know, they're up there in a bed. Totally understand. Pittsburgh Airport's really quiet, even in the best circumstances. During vacation, you know, holidays and stuff, and get a little bit busier, but for the most part, it's pretty chill. I was just in Terminal C. So I always like the floor here, the terrazzo tile. I always thought that was pretty cool. It's a clean airport. It always gets rated really well. So it always gets really good ratings. Mostly, I think the thing they do right here is they have all the gates available from one security checkpoint, which I think is smart. Some airports, you know, you got terminal this, terminal that. It's like, why? Get your damn gates all in one place. Have people go through one security, call it a day. So, it's Terminal A here. Excuse me, Terminal B. Terminal A and B at Pittsburgh Airport are like the same, like they extend up a little longer. But the airport looks like a big X. So That's the other thing it kind of gets complimented for, is because it's organized really easily. Like, you arrive right in the center of it, and you either go A, B, C, or D. It's just a big cross. But we also had the land to do that. So some airports, like I flew out of Cleveland, I feel like I had to walk a country mile to get to my gate. It was insane. Like here, you don't really have to do that because you have these people movers, which is pretty cool. So instead of doing A and B, I'm just going to probably do B, come back, because A is kind of the same thing. This airport open? No one's in Pittsburgh. I know, man. It's crazy. You get out here, you see mostly people just hanging out on their break or something, like this guy. Just chilling out as some employee. Is the airport open? Yeah, it's open, man. LAX, yeah, it is. LAX is crazy, too. LAX. I returned a car there once, and I had to get out of the bus. Thankfully, I had my penny board with me, my little, like, yellow skateboard. I had to penny board next to the traffic to get to the gate, like to get to the ticketing. Like I would have missed my flight. Like we were in literally stopped traffic. The thing that's stressful about LAX though is from terminal to terminal. That can be stressful because I mean that's a huge airport. Dallas is the same way, where there's just so many terminals and they're so far apart. If you want to go from one to the other and you don't have enough time, like you're in trouble. That's a former US Airways like help counter right there. See, like unbranded, there's nothing going on. There's security here. American flight just got in. So, yeah. There's also actually a lot of military operations out here too, which is pretty cool. We have like a lot of like cargo planes, and I always see these like I don't know military aircraft that well, but we do have ones that fly out around here. So you see how I said it as a big X? So that shows the airlines, you know. See, they don't have Condor on here anymore, like until it comes back, but they do have British Airways. So British Airways, I've been told, is coming back. I think they're coming back in April, actually. But because we have that center core. Yeah, C-130 military. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. I couldn't think of that. So these gates are still active here. But again, you know, a lot of these things, think of like a big airport. If you've been through Atlanta, you know, a hub. Like an East Coast hub. You got Philly, Charlotte. You know, you have those like help counters around and stuff. We used to have that, you know, when I was growing up here. US Air, this was their hub. They didn't like the gate fees. They didn't like the terms that the airport was giving them. So they threatened to leave. They said, we're going to pull out of here. And Pittsburgh, like the Allegheny County Airport Authority, said, like, go ahead. And US Air at the time called their bluff and said, all right, we're leaving. We're going to Philly. So when they pulled out of here, they left this airport, like, with nothing. So whoever was the lead on that decision did not do it right, because they cost the city a lot of jobs and a lot of opportunity. But, you know, they've kind of found a way to maybe reinvent itself a little bit. So there's some smaller flights that come in here too. We got like Du Bois, PA, Morgantown. We have another like little prop plane that goes Washington Dulles, which is kind of cool. So you can get some good fares here. Anyway, just at the end of Terminal A, I'm going to go back now. I'm up in the Bend part of it. Or Terminal B, I'm sorry. I went to the right, so I'm Terminal B. Terminal A, you bend to the left. So you can kind of see out. See that Spirit plane I just walked by? You can see the yellow over there. See it just a little bit. Isaiah 99, thanks for the share, man. Appreciate that. So, anyway, it's cool. Kind of like the airport that, you know, they just still haven't done much with a lot of the different spots of it. And it costs a lot of money to upkeep everything. Like, everything's on. it's one of those things, like they used to, they walled this off at one point, just this top of Terminal B and A. They walled it off at the end of the straightaway. Kai Myers, this is Pittsburgh International Airport. Thank you, Charlie. They walled off Terminal B and A, like right here when it went to Bend. And they recently reopened it because they've had more airlines come in here. They kind of stick the budget ones far away, like Allegiant's up here. But both Delta and American have some of the higher gates, which I never really understood, because it's like, I mean, it can be a little far. Like, if I was an airline, I'd want all my gates like right by the thing. But you know, they got this crap too. This Hudson News. Same shit every airport. Nothing new there. We got a lot of flights though. You know, we go to all the East Coast cities, of course. Pre-COVID, we had a San Francisco flight. We had a direct flight on United. I don't know if that's going to come back. I imagine it will. I mean, it basically allows you to have a one-stop to, you know, like Asia. We have a Seattle flight, though, on Alaska Airlines, which is pretty sweet. If it's cut off, any budget may get cut. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point, isn't it? Yeah, if they start making it smaller, then they might cut down the budget. It's a good point. I like that. Is this a working payphone? I always like the Triumph. I'm not going to try this as authorized only. Let me see if this actually works. Airport looks old. It's a little dated. A little bit. Look at these seats and stuff. It looks pretty dated. There's a dial tone right there. There's actually a dial tone. When was the last time you saw a working payphone? But I think in an airport they're gonna make the phones work. Otherwise, they probably just remove it. I think. Let's see what time. I don't know what time it is right now. It's probably 12:20. I think that LaGuardia flight just got here, or it's coming in. Oh, that might have been Charlotte. So that was me coming in from LaGuardia. Look at that Denver flight scheduled to get here at 1:49. Oh my gosh. Orlando's coming in at 1:07. Denver's 1:49. That's probably just about to leave. Denver really isn't that far from here because we're pretty much on the border of Ohio. So we're a little bit more Midwest. Not Midwest, but we're kind of a little bit that. Here's that I'll show this Alaska plane here. This flies to SeaTac. We have a Seattle flight, which is super convenient. It's like 4 hours and change. I've taken it before. Super, super, super convenient. You can kind of see it. See that? And then you got Spirit. Oh, yeah, we got Southwest. When I was growing up, we didn't. And I moved here from Dallas, and it made me mad that we didn't have Southwest. It didn't make any sense. I was like, I actually grew up closer to Love Field than I did DFW. I remember being really mad that we didn't have it because I thought we weren't a real city. Southwest was the best, So anyway, yeah, I thought Southwest was one of those airlines that, I don't know. I think it took them a while to expand. This is Pittsburgh International. I think it just took Southwest basically time to kind of get around because they really made sure they made each city strategic. When they acquired one, they didn't just expand all at once, I think, for the same reasons airports don't do that because, then you'd possibly be over your head if something went south with demand and whatnot. So I think that's part of it. This is just getting here. This might have been that Miami flight, actually. I think that's what it was. So, 2 one-world cities. Now Southwest is the largest domestic carrier. I don't know if you saw that recently. Spirit and Frontier are going to merge, which is crazy. Well, not crazy, but good. Southwest has no crashes. Really? They had that engine explode mid-air, though. That wasn't great. So, back at the main hall here, where you headed now, Kim, I'm heading to the parking lot right now. Heading right now to the lot. Pittsburgh, though. I'm in Pittsburgh. So, Christie Castle 533. Going home. So, yeah, the terrazzo part of this airport I think is really cool. I like this site. Charlie Airline, you're in Little Rock. What are you doing there? You work for?
I'll make some money.
You work for a airline, I imagine. Are you crew? Are you just overnight there? We also have these too. We have these little skylights. Nadine Prather, thanks for the follow. So doing some stuff overnight here, I guess, communications and whatnot. So anyway, a little bit more of the same, you know. Kind of there. United's down here, Air Canada, Boutique Airway. You're originally from Kansas City. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, is that why you knew that airport? That makes sense. I haven't been to is that KCI? KCI, that one? Yeah, KCI is the easiest airport to fly in. What was the deal with, isn't there an airport out there that kind of basically got left without an airline? I remember reading about that. I feel like it was either in Kansas or maybe Illinois. It could have been somewhere that didn't have it didn't have a large population near it. And when the hub airline left, they were really just left hanging. By the way, this was the location of the only Pinkberry in Pittsburgh. So sad it's gone. You can kind of still see the top. It used to be, you see the Pinkberry. It would go right up here. Very tragic when it left. Only Pinkberry in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's probably a franchising thing. I think we probably would have had, a Pinkberry if somebody wanted to have one. It's weird here with brands. Sometimes stuff gets blocked. I don't know why. We don't really have a ton of Froyo. It was East St. Louis in Illinois. Okay. Yeah. No, I just think that's kind of sad. It's like, why are they doing that? Just screwing somebody over. Here's the guys that are still coming in. You got that Orlando flight. You got that Miami flight. TWA was the host. Okay, so TWA was going to do it when they backed out. Oh, there's the Denver flight. I said they were about to take off. That's wrong. There's Denver coming in. Here's Orlando. Here's, what's this? They just leave? What's that Allegiant flight? Is that going to Fort Lauderdale? What the heck is that? I'm going to find that one. That's not on here. G4 4503. What is that flight? I could Google that. G4 4503. I'll look it up later in our departures. Or no, it's not Frontier. It's Allegiant. Where is Allegiant? Yeah, right here. G4 4503. Miami. DL 5601. That's going to be your 5601. Oh, that's that late LaGuardia flight. This flight took off after mine. I don't know what the heck that was. G4 4503. Christie Castle, thank you for that information. That would have been kind of obliterated without it. All right, now, former relics of the airport past. Underneath here, this used to be a gym. It was called like the Sky Gym or something. It kind of had like a funny name, but it was actually a gym, like kind of like a hotel style gym. Now here, E-Gates was like, the fact that they still have this on here is crazy to me. Like, they left this. That hasn't existed since US Air was here. That was the old gates, like for like short hopper flights. Like US Airways, they had like a fleet of like propeller planes. And they had, yeah, thank you, Chris. Philly is short. Like, the flight time is under an hour. That's a popular flight, too, because this is an American Airlines, like former US Airways city. So they shuttle you to Philly a lot, and Charlotte, for connections. International rivals. We don't have a ton of transatlantic. We had a Paris flight for a while, but now we have a lot of stuff from the Caribbean. But the fact that they still have this E-Gates thing on here is I think it's hysterical, because that's not even there anymore. Now they use it as an alternative security checkpoint, but it's not. There's no gates, so that's like confusing. Like, you would confuse, to me, like putting up a gate thing that's wrong. You would confuse people. People would think, oh, there's a gate there. There's not. You can't even get in there unless the regular security is so busy, and then they open up that. Little back thing has a lot of history. Patty, I don't think they do. I don't think they do. They haven't flown here. It was a seasonal flight anyway, and COVID hit in March 2020. They never put it back. It was like pretty much like, I'm guessing they went out to sea. I remember used to seeing the planes here. I mean, it was cool. Just like, it's gone. So this is kind of cool. This is like the old history. I've shown this before. Russia just declared war on Ukraine. Really? Oh, I'm super happy about the London flight. I ran into a BA employee in November on a train to Manchester, UK. I was going up to see a Manchester City match versus West Ham United. And she told me she worked for, I said, is that Pittsburgh flight coming back? She was like, absolutely. She's in the States all the time. It's like the old airlines that came in here, Mohawk, Northwest, because of COVID. Yeah, COVID's part of it. It's also just this airport hasn't been busy all the time. Eastern Airlines in here. These are the old flight, when they opened, 1972. Ghosted me. Really? No kidding. Condor's ghosting you. Oh. Are they still flying other places? See, I had an experience once with Aeroflot where they lost a piece of baggage of mine, and they absolutely, it got lost in transit. And eventually, if you get the right person on the phone, they will help you. That's all I can really say. Most of the times people get someone on the phone that's not really qualified, I guess. But if you get the right person on the horn, they're gonna help you. So I don't know what the heck this is. Some sort of drainage or whatever. I don't know what's going on here. Stuff's connected to the ceiling. I don't know if this is I don't know what this is. I think ladies in Venice on the screen. Patty, send me a direct message, because I don't want to forget that you wrote me that. I've $1,200. Patty, just send me a message on Instagram. I have all my social in my bio for TikTok. Just send me a message on that, because I'm curious. I want to actually follow along on that and see if there's anything I can do to help. I mean, I don't work for an airline, but I'd be curious. Look at this thing, push for transit. How funny is that? As if you can push it and call the thing. Push for transit. How funny is that? No, I can't act for anything. I'm a horrendous actor. I'm not even good being myself, let alone somebody else. So this is another thing. This is kind of another problem we have a little bit in Pittsburgh. I think the quirkiness of Ben Stiller is probably what you're picking up on, which is fine. I'll own that. But we have this like shuttle thing. This is what they're going to get rid of when they redo the airport, because this costs a lot of money and it's always breaking. I mean, not always, but it's like it's a train. So when it breaks, they got to shut it down. You basically use one. We have two. So it's kind of funny. I think like when airports build stuff like this, they probably have the best intentions. But like if you could make an airport where passengers were able to walk to all their gates, you'd probably be better off. And I think that's why a lot of airlines, instead of doing what we do, where we have this thing, they just have multiple terminals. That way you don't have one that just gets slammed. We have that big security area. We have the alternate security checkpoint. But, it's still hard when one of these breaks down because they just got to use the one. So when they have two running, it's no big deal. You don't have to wait. But get a feel for this. See, it's on here. Sean, you're funny. I think Casey Affleck is hysterical. I thought he was a riot in the Oceans movie. Like, I thought Casey Affleck was so funny. And just him and the dude that plays Charlie Tweeter in Varsity Blues. I thought those guys were so funny in the Oceans movies. I walked fully. By the way, yeah, it's a bullet train. Yeah, it's the Shinkansen, all right. Yeah, I felt like I was in Japan back there. That was so fast. I was so impressed. Charlie Airline, thanks for the follow, buddy. That's an honor. So here's our security line. Yeah, they are great actors, that's for sure. Ben's been in more like quiet stuff. Like I feel like Casey's like in more silly stuff. Probably makes sense. Legit 08. Where am I headed? I'm heading to the parking lot. Heading to the parking lot. But I'm gonna do a quick spin up at ticketing. I do like this airport. Just the thing people always say is, oh, it's empty. But I'll tell you what, I'd rather have the place to myself than to have it be overcrowded and jammed. We have another airport in the area. It's Latrobe. That's like where Arnold Palmer's from. That's a really, really, really quiet airport, but it has free parking, which is crazy. So if you find a Spirit flight, like Spirit flies in there, I think they fly to Charleston, South Carolina, and Orlando, and maybe Tampa. Anyway, here's like this stuff. This is kind of like a tribute to the bridges. I'll just show this and I'll get out of here because you guys are probably sick of me already. Here's all the ticketing. There's West End Bridge, Liberty Bridge, Hot Metal Bridge. Yeah, I live in the Berg. I'm coming from LaGuardia. So there's a Hot Metal Bridge. It shows that a lot of these bridges are, 20s, 30s, but this is older here. 1890, 1910. Fort Pitt Bridge, these are later. We used to have Point Bridge and the Manchester Bridge. These two replaced it. It wasn't actually finished until the 60s. But this is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Dallas was closed this past weekend. Christie Castle, really? Huh. No kidding. Charlie, you're funny. Smithfield Street Bridge. This bridge is awesome. Now, it's called the Lenticular Truss Bridge. I love this bridge, and it's one of the oldest in the city, and it's lasted the longest. So they have it on. They had the hardest time finding like the bedrock under the river. They kept digging and digging. So what they did is like this very old school method is they took like rubber and they like crossed wood and tied it together, and they used that as the anchors for the bridge. So that because it's just been underwater and it doesn't rot. And that's actually the base of the tower, if you want to call them the towers of this bridge. So that's what these are on in the Monongahela River. So they used to have streetcars on it. It's a cool bridge too. So you see old pictures of Pittsburgh near Baltimore. That's cool. Yeah, when you see old pictures of Pittsburgh, that Smithfield Street Bridge had streetcars on it. So it's pretty sweet. This talks about the point bridges here. These are, if you're from Pittsburgh, this will mean something to you. If not, it won't. But the Three Sisters bridges, that's at 6th Street, 7th Street, and 9th Street. It skips 8th. Remember those, it's the CWC. So the first one you see is the Roberto Clemente Bridge. The second one is the Andy Warhol Bridge, and his museum is very close to that end of that bridge on the north side. And the last one, the most eastern one, is the Rachel Carson Bridge. She was the author of Silent Spring. So that's the 6th, 7th, and 8th. 6th, 7th, and 9th. And they have those names. So a lot of bridges here. They call it the City of Bridges. We just had one fall down, though, in Frick Park, which is kind of tragic. Nobody died, but a bus was on it. We had that sinkhole a couple of years ago, too, so I don't know if people remember that. That was kind of funny. Not really funny, but kind of scary. This is where the passenger drop-off is, over here. What do you do? Charlie, I'm an ice hockey coach. I coach kids. I coach, like youth hockey. I have an 11-year-old hockey team, a 13-year-old hockey team. I coach a high school hockey team. But I'm also kind of an aviation geek, too. Not kind of, I am. So a little TWA history here. Now, this is where, like, the city bus drops off. Okay? So Southwest, has a check-in over here. A lot of, like, the shuttles and stuff drop off here. So it still functions, but it's usually mostly where you'll see employees just, like, taking a cigarette break. And here is E-Gate. So what I was going on about, what I was going on earlier about was the E-Gates, and that was this. So now it's like an alternate security checkpoint. I haven't been in there in such a long time. There's still somebody in there. But anyway, that was E-Gates. And when they first opened it, you could still see like E-Gates stuff in there. There was still signage, this gate, that gate. It said E-Gates, different parts. And they've removed it all since, which sucks. But, next time I'm in there, I'll take some pictures. But you can still see here, like the British Airways thing. Like I told you, they are coming back. They are. They've said they are. So you can see the alternate security checkpoints closed. But look at in there. I see the escalators running. So the amount of overhead to this airport is baffling. So this whole thing here is going to leave. When they redo the airport, this will be gone. So I don't know what's going to happen with the Hyatt Hotel. Maybe just leave it where it is and shuttle people there. This ticketing terminal is going to be gone. So all this stuff here, this kind of reminders of the past, this dated looking stuff, they're just going to leave it. They haven't done McDickles. This is Pittsburgh International. So I don't know if you see this here, this sticker. Check this out. This is not a new sticker at all. Who pays for it? Allegheny County. So it's the Allegheny County Airport Authority. That's the county Pittsburgh's in. That's why we have 7% tax. Us and Philly, the only two counties in Pennsylvania that are 7%. The rest are 6%. But check this. This is to me, it's one of the coolest things. It's like a holdover. I hope when they tear this out, somebody takes this home because it's really cool. So this is a TWA thing. This has been here forever. Yeah, they did. Oh, they did. This has been, I've flown TWA out of this airport as a little kid in like the late 90s. We flew TWA, I can't remember to where, But I have flown them out of this airport, like I said, a long time ago. And the various airlines have been through here, too. I don't know if you remember ATA. I flew them out of here, I think, to Minneapolis. And counties, no. Counties don't always run airports. No, not at all. It depends on who's in charge. Like, for example, London Heathrow is one of the largest, like, privately run airports in the world. So they can be privately run. It just depends on if they need public money or not, or if they require land that, is the public owns or whatever. I think every airport's probably a little bit different. But this little TWA thing I think is cool. But Pan Am, love Pan Am. Pan Am, they don't call it the Pan Am smile for nothing. I mean, that's I feel like they made flying cool. They had the 747, they had those. It was they made those mainstream. I think they made flying cool for anybody, it was seen as not just something for the elite. So I don't know if that guy's flying. But, all right, well, Heathrow ain't private. I thought it was. I thought I remember hearing that about on a documentary about it, that it was private. I could have sworn it was private. I was almost certain it was. Maybe not. But, all right, well, time to head out of here. Thanks to anybody that was clicking on here. I appreciate you guys interacting with the way you did. Yes, I did. It is dead. It's quiet. It's a ghost town. I did see that Concorde thing. Cal, 884. I didn't. 8874. I thought Heathrow was privately run. I thought that's why it runs like a business. Damn. All right, well, this is why I do these things. I do this to learn. People think I do this to, I do these for fun, but I do these to learn. I do these to interact. Because, if you say something wrong, that's the thing about doing a live video. If you just say something that wrong, someone's going to correct you. And that's kind of what I like, It's keeps you sharp. Anyway, thanks for clicking on anybody that did. I really appreciate it. You guys are cool. Well, send me a message either way. You're going to wear a mask, wear one that works. Yeah, I know. If it wasn't so dead in there, I'd have this on. You're right. It's literally, there's nobody in there. I have 40 feet, forget 6, but all right. You guys take care. See you on the next one. Oh, Pittsburgh, we got a broken people mover. Take care, guys.